I died, choking on my own blood in a midtown Manhattan alley. The kind where dreams go to rot under the glow of Broadway's cast-offs. My sister Mia's voice echoed in my skull like a bad remix. You're nothing but a leech. Layla. Get out before I call the cops. Right before the brick wall rushed up to kiss my face. Courtesy of the accident she'd orchestrated with her new lawyer boyfriend. And just like that, the universe hit rewind, slamming me back into my 22-year-old body. Heart pounding in the cramped Queens apartment we'd shared since Mom bailed when I was 10. I bolted upright in bed, gasping. The sheets tangled around my legs like restraints from a life sentence. The clock on the nightstand blinked 3:17 a.m. July 15th, 2014, the exact date I'd marked as the start of my descent into hell. My hands flew to my face, feeling the smooth, unscarred skin that wouldn't bear the jagged fracture for another 8 years. No wheelchair. No pain meds dulling the edges of every breath. Holy shit. Reborn. Or cursed. Take your pick. The apartment smelled of stale coffee and Mia's cheap vanilla body spray. The one she'd swiped from Dwayne Reed because sisters share everything. Bullshit. I swung my legs over the side of the bed, bare feet hitting the cool linoleum, and stumbled to the mirror above the dresser. There I was, Layla Ruiz. 5'4" firecracker with curves that turned heads in the diner but never got me anywhere but tips and trouble. Dark curls wild from sleep. Brown eyes wide with the ghost of what was to come. Mia's high school graduation photo grinned from the frame beside me. All braces, free teeth, and promise. God. She was 16 then, already scheming her way out of this roach motel we called home. I had to move. Fast. This wasn't some cosmic do-over for beach vacations and lottery wins. This was payback. Pure and vicious. Mia had clawed her way to Columbia Law on my back, every double shift at Gino's diner. Every skipped meal. Every sorry. Landlord. Rent's coming next week. I'd washed dishes until my fingers pruned, flirted with creeps for extra 20s. All so she could wear those Louboutins she pretended were knockoffs. And her graduation? The pinnacle. I'd scraped together $500 for a dress I couldn't afford. Stood in the back row beaming like a proud idiot while she walked the stage. Then, champagne toasts at some rooftop bar she dragged me to, where her fancy friends side-eyed my uniform stains. You did it, Mia. Ivy League. Baby. I'd hugged her, mascara running from happy tears. She'd pulled back, eyes cold as the Hudson in January. Yeah. Thanks to you, sis. But now, I need space. Real space. Not this. Her gesture had swept the air, encompassing our life like it was toxic waste. By morning, she'd filed a restraining order, abuse claims, forged texts, the works. Said I'd held her back, that my jealousy was poisoning her future. The media ate it up. Golden girl escapes toxic sister. My job vanished overnight. Friends ghosted. And that alley slip? Just the final punctuation on her narrative. Now, staring at that photo, rage boiled up like bad diner grease. Not this time. I'd rewrite the script, make her choke on every lie. But revenge wasn't a sprint. It was a marathon through Manhattan's underbelly, full of pitfalls and prying eyes. First, I needed proof. The secret she'd buried deeper than Dad's gambling debts, the one that funded her scholarships and those off-books internships. I grabbed my phone, the flip model that predated smartphones for me, and scrolled through texts. Mia's last message from last night, Can't wait for orientation. Love you.
Lay.
You're the best. Lies. All of it. But I knew where to start digging. Her laptop, hidden under her bed like contraband. I crept into her room, the floorboards creaking like accusations, and fished it out. Password. Big sis sucks, ironic. Even then. Files upon files. Essays plagiarized from JSTOR. Recommendation letters ghostwritten by me during my graveyard shifts. But there, buried in a folder labeled Old Junk, was the gem. Emails from a sleazy prof at her community college prep program. Mia, darling, your paper was brilliant. Dinner to discuss advancement. Followed by bank transfers, $2,000 here. $5,000 there from accounts I didn't recognize. Not mine. Hers. Skimmed from Dad's estate after he OD'd. The one she'd sworn was just enough for books. My stomach twisted. She'd sold herself out before I even started waiting tables. And those internships. Code for favors traded in hotel rooms. All while I busted my ass thinking it was tuition. The betrayal hit fresh. A knife twist in reborn guts. But this was leverage. Blackmail fodder that could tank her before she even applied. Dawn cracked the skyline, painting the room in bruised purples. I heard her stirring in the bathroom, humming some pop tune about rising like a phoenix. Fitting. I slid the laptop back, heart hammering, and slipped into the kitchen. Coffee brewing, eggs sizzling, routine to mask the storm. She emerged in her ratty robe, all innocence and bedhead. Morning.
Lay. God.
I had the weirdest dream. You were, like, a superhero or something. She yawned, pouring a mug. I forced a smile, plating her breakfast. Yeah? Tell me about it.
Inside.
I catalogued her tells, the averted eyes, the fidgety fingers. She'd always been a crap liar. As she chattered about orientation packets, I nodded, plotting. Step 1. Don't fund her directly. Step 2. Plant seeds of doubt in her network. Step 3. Watch her squirm when the prof's wife starts asking questions. But controversial? Hell yeah. I'd have to get my hands dirty, maybe seduce that boyfriend early. Or leak just enough to make her desperate. No blood, but plenty of bruises to egos. By noon, I was at Gino's, apron tied tight, slinging hash to the lunch rush. The diner's eternal fluorescence buzzed like angry bees, mirroring the hive in my head. Tony, the owner, barked orders from the grill. Ruiz, table 6. Move it. I weaved through the chaos, notepad in hand, but my mind was miles away, 8 years ahead, in courtrooms where Mia's testimony painted me as the villain. Table 6, a suit, mid-40s, nursing a black coffee and a scowl. What'll it be? I asked.
Pen poised.
He glanced up, eyes lingering a beat too long on my cleavage. Burger. Medium. And your number. Creep standard. I leaned in, voice low. Numbers extra. What's it worth to you? Flirt for tips. Sure, but this time, with intent. If Mia's prof had a type, maybe this guy knew him. Small world. Academia. He chuckled, sliding a 20 across the formica. Feisty. I like that. Name's Harlan. Teach at Hunter College. Bingo. Layla. Waitressing my way through. Dreams. I pocketed the bill. memorizing his face. Step 2 initiated. That night, back in the apartment, Mia burst through the door with shopping bags, goodies from a study group that smelled like desperation. Look what I scored. Free swag from the fair. Designer labels peeked out. Tags intact. Nice, I said. Casual. Who's the fairy godmother? She waved it off. Just networking. You know, future-proofing. Her phone buzzed. She silenced it quick. Cheeks flushing. I didn't push. Not yet. Instead, I waited until she crashed. Then fired off an anonymous email from a burner account I'd set up at the library. Professor Harlan, curious about Mia Ruiz's advancement opportunities. Wife says hi. Attached, a screenshot of one transfer. Blurred just enough for intrigue.
Send.
The thrill hit like espresso, sharp, addictive. But doubt crept in. Was I becoming her? The schemer? The user?
Nah.
This was justice. American style. Bootstrap your way to the top. Then dynamite the ladder behind the liars. Weeks blurred into a grind. Shifts doubled. But I funneled cash into my own community college fund, nursing program.
Why not?
Mia's applications piled up, her stress mounting as rejections trickled in. What's wrong with me? She'd whine, pacing the living room. Nothing, I'd soothe, hiding my smirk. Maybe try harder on the essays. The prof scandal simmered. Whispers reached her ears via group chats I monitored on her borrowed phone. Then, the first crack, a call from Columbia Admissions. MS. Ruiz, we need to discuss discrepancies in your financial aid docs. Her face drained of color. Layla, what do? I shrugged.
Heart ice.
Tell the truth.
Sis.
It's the American way. She stared, suspicion flickering. You've been weird lately. Distant. Just tired. Lie number 1 from the new me. As summer faded into fall, the tension thickened like diner gravy. Mia's friends, the ones who'd later testify against me, started ghosting. Harlan? Turned out he was married to the dean's sister. Small world. Indeed. My anonymous tips bore fruit. An internal review. Quiet but damning. I watched her unravel. Piece by calculated piece.
But revenge?
It itched under my skin, demanding more. Controversial move incoming. I'd sleep with her boyfriend-to-be, steal his Rolodex of connections, then ghost him with a whisper of her secrets. Morally gray? Pitch black. But hey, in New York, the city's the real villain, swallows the guilty whole. October hit Queens like a freight train, leaves turning blood red on the L tracks as if foreshadowing the mess I'd make. Mia's Columbia dream was fraying at the edges. Her acceptance letter delayed while the ethics board poked at those discrepancies. I'd upped the ante, leaking a redacted email chain to a student paper. Nothing traceable. Just enough to stir the pot. Is Ivy League integrity a myth? The headline read, buried on page 12 but viral in the right chats. She confronted me one drizzly evening, rain pattering against the fire escape like impatient fingers. Layla.
Did you
Say something? To anyone. I was mid-bite of a cold empanada, feet up on the coffee table we'd salvaged from the curb. About what? Your stellar GPA. Her eyes narrowed. That calculating glint I'd seen in courtrooms future past. The prof stuff. It's everywhere now.
They think I
Traded favors. Innocence cracked. I set the food down.
slow.
You didn't. She deflated onto the couch. burying her face in hands that still smelled of her illicit swag. It was one time. Okay,
2.
he said it'd help with Rex. I was desperate.
Lay.
You know how it is, poor girl from Queens. Clawing for a shot.
Desperate.
The word she'd weaponized against me. So, you hoard out for a boost while I scrub toilets for your books? Her head snapped up. Don't judge me. You're the one who ditched your own life for this saint complex. What about you? Flirting with every sleaze at the diner for tips.
Touché.
But I had 8 years of hindsight. She had excuses.
Fair.
But lies? Covering it up? That's the real killer. We sat in silence. The fridge humming judgment. That night, she didn't come home, crashed at a friend's, code for the arms of Jake Harlan's TA, the guy who'd become her fiancé in my original timeline. I used the quiet to plot deeper. Time for phase 3. Infiltrate her circle. Next day, I accidentally bumped into Jake at a campus mixer. I'd crashed with a fake ID. Hunter College's fall fair. Booths hawking overpriced cider and dreams. He was manning the poli-sci table. All boyish charm and rolled sleeves. 25. Trust fund light. The kind who thought activism was retweeting BLM without marching. Oops, sorry. I laughed, spilling a splash of punch on his flyer stack. Classic me cute. Engineered. He grinned, unfazed.
No harm.
Here, let me grab you a napkin. I'm Jake. Layla. Future poli-sci major. If I can swing tuition. Lie too. I'd enrolled part-time. But dreams cost. We chatted, me playing the wide-eyed underdog. Him the knight. By night's end, numbers exchanged, coffee date locked. Mia would flip if she knew, but that's the point. Steal her thunder early. Dates blurred into weeks, walks in Central Park, where leaves crunched underfoot like brittle promises, dive bars in the village. Shooting pool over IPAs. Jake was easy, idealistic, ambitious, blind to red flags. I mirrored him, feeding just enough vulnerability to hook, tales of mom's abandonment, dad's debts, my sacrifices for family. Omitted. The rebirth. The rage. Sex came natural. In his walk-up off Amsterdam, sheets tangled, city lights painting our skin. Post-coital. As he traced my hip, I probed. So, what's the dirt on Harlan? Heard he's got habits. Jake tensed, then sighed.
Yeah.
Messy. Sleeps his way through advisees. Wife's turning a blind eye, but the dean's not. Like who? Casual. Like gossip. He hesitated. Then, Mia Ruiz. Smart kid.
But.
Yeah. He pulled strings for her apps. Jackpot. I filed it away. Planting a seed. Creepy. You think she'd go for it?
Nah. She's got a good head.
Ambitious. Not desperate. Famous last words. Meanwhile, Mia's unraveling accelerated. She dropped out of prep courses, took a job at a Starbucks, irony thick as their lattes, while her emails begged for extensions. I intercepted one to Harlan. Please? Prof. One more chance. Dinner? Sent from her phone while she showered. My reply? Spoofed. Not interested. Ethics review says hi.
Dean.
She found it later, sobbing in the bathroom. I knocked softly. Everything okay? Go away. Muffled. Broken. I did. But not before snapping a photo, evidence for the growing dossier. Controversial? Leaking nudes she'd sent him?
Nah.
Too low. But doctoring her apps to flag as fraudulent? Tempting. Gray area. I'd save that for the climax. Thanksgiving loomed. A Ruiz tradition of canned turkey and resentment. Mom called from Florida. Voice slurred. Girls? Be good to each other. Family's all you got. Mia hung up first, slamming the receiver. She's wasted again. Why do we even bother? Because blood, I said, meeting her eyes. Thicker than lies. She flinched. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing.
Yet.
Jake met the fam that week. Awkward dinner in our shoebox. Turkey drying under the heat lamp. He charmed, talking policy over pie. But Mia's eyes lit on him like a hawk on prey. You're cute, she purred later, cornering him in the kitchen while I cleaned. I eavesdropped from the hall. Heart steady. Let her try. In my old life, she'd won him, used his connections to bury me.
Now?
I'd flip the script. By December, snow dusting the bridges like powdered sugar on regret, Mia's secrets cracked wide. An article dropped. Hunter professor resigns amid scandal. Her name redacted, but the dots connected in her circles. Friends distanced, apps rejected outright. She came at me one blizzard night, coat shedding flakes on the floor. You did this. I know it. Snooping, sabotaging, why? Layla? Jealous. I stood my ground, arms crossed. Jealous? Of what? Your ladder of bodies and bribes? I gave everything.
Mia.
Slaved so you could shine. And you? You stabbed me in the back the second you could. Her laugh was bitter. Wind-whipped. Gave? You smothered me. Your guilt trips. Your sacrifices. It was control. Not love. I had to escape. Escape. The word ignited the alley memory, her cold command echoing as I fell. Escape to what? More lies? You think Columbia wants a fraud? She lunged, nails raking my arm, not deep, but drawing pinpricks of blood.
Bitch.
I'll ruin you. I shoved her back. Controversial instinct flaring, my fist connected with her jaw. A crack like ice under skate. She crumpled, stunned. Touch me again, I hissed, and you'll wish for restraining orders. She scrambled up, fleeing to her room. Door slammed. Lock clicked. I sank to the floor, adrenaline crashing. Assault? In self-defense? Maybe. But in New York, optics kill. Cops could come, she'd spin it. My rebirth. Tainted already. Jake called later. Heard about the fight. You okay?
Yeah.
Lie 3. Just sister stuff. Come over. Talk. I did. Curling into him. But sleep evaded. Revenge tasted like ash, sweet at first, then choking. Was this power? Or just trading chains? As holidays peaked, Mia vanished, couch-surfed with remnants of her crew. Texting sporadically. Sorry. Need space. Echoes of the future. I thrived in the void. Aced midterms. Pocketed tips. Deepened with Jake. But the itch grew. Time for escalation. I'd frame her for something bigger, embezzlement from Dad's estate, using those transfers. Plan evidence in her cloud. Tip the IRS anonymously. Morally bankrupt?
Sure.
But she'd killed me once. Fair trade. January thawed the tension. but not the frost between us. She slunk back, hollow-eyed, begging, "Help me fix this."
Lay.
"Please." I waited. The old me screaming yes.
New me?
Fix what? Exactly? Everything. Tears. Genuine maybe. One condition, truth. All of it. She spilled, the profs.
Demaniskim.
Even Mom's affair that shattered Dad. Buried secrets unearthed.
Raw.
I nodded, feigning absolution. But inside, the plan solidified. Trust her? Never again. Winter gripped the city like a grudge. Icicles daggering from fire escapes as Mia's plea hung in the air, fragile as a hungover promise. Truth for truth, I echoed, pouring us cheap Merlot from a box jug, our ritual. Pre-betrayal. She nodded, spilling more, how the estate cash wasn't just skimmed but laundered through fake charities she'd volunteered for, all to pad her resume. It was survival, she whispered, glass trembling. You were always the strong one. I had to cheat to catch up. Strong. The word mocked me. I'd been a mule, not a warrior, hauling her burdens until my spine snapped. Survival doesn't justify screwing over family, I said, voice even. Or the fallout. Her eyes searched mine, probing for the sister she knew. Then help me make it right. Fake docs. Whatever. We can. No fucks. I cut her off. Controversial line drawn. Real fixes. Start with confessing to the dean. Partial. At least. She recoiled. Are you insane? Ruin? They'd expel me. Expel or prison. Your call. Bluff. Mostly, the evidence was circumstantial. My forgeries not yet deployed. But her panic was delicious. An appetizer to the main course. She agreed. Reluctantly. Drafting an email that night, regretful admission of undue influence. Sent with my oversight. CC'd to Jake. For good measure, he was my ace now. Privy to whispers, but not the full venom. His reaction? A late-night call. Voice tight. Mia's coming clean?
That's
big. You think she'll pull through? Doubt it, I murmured, tracing patterns on my ceiling. People like her? They burn bright. Then ash. You sound bitter. Layla. Bitters for survivors.
click.
February brought Valentines and vendettas. I deepened the Jake entanglement. Whispers of engagement rings. Weekends in the Hamptons his family loaned the keys for. Mia watched from afar. Her part-time gig at the coffee shop grinding her down. Uniform stained with more than espresso. We'd reconciled. Surface level, shared meals, stilted laughs. But undercurrents swirled, dark as the East River. My nursing classes ramped up, syringes and sutures. Metaphors for the precision I'd need. One lab. Practicing IVs on dummies. I nicked the vein perfect. Nice work. Ruiz, the instructor grunted. Steady hands. If only she knew. The counterstrike launched mid-month. IRS tip. Anonymous from a VPN at the library. Suspected fraud in Ruiz estate distributions. See attachments. Forged ledgers. Timestamps backdated to Dad's death. $20K unaccounted. Funneled to Mia's charities that traced to offshore shells. Controversial as hell. Identity theft light. But who'd suspect the deadbeat sister? Auditors called within days. Mia's phone exploded. Voicemails from panicked advisors. Her face paling over breakfast. Layla. It's the taxes. They think I stole from Dad. From us, I corrected. Buttering toast. What did you expect? Hiding cash like a mobster? I didn't wait. How do you know about the shells? Suspicion flared.
Sharp.
Google's free. Lie 4. I'd hacked her accounts weeks back. Password Big Sis Sucks still gold. She bought it. Crumbling. What do I do? Pray. Cold. But true.
Jake.
Looped in. Played the hero. I'll call my uncle, tax attorney. But Mia. This looks bad. Her gratitude gushed. Eyes lingering on him too long. You're a lifesaver. Jake. He glanced at me. Awkward. The triangle tightened. Nooses forming. As spring teased with crocuses in Astoria Park, Mia's world contracted. Columbia waitlisted her, ethics flag waving red. She doubled shifts, shadows under eyes like bruises. Our apartment turned battlefield, her mess versus my order. Accusations flying like dish towels. You're enjoying this, she screamed one night, hurling a mug that shattered against the wall, shards glittering like failed dreams. Enjoying? This is karma.
Mia.
You built the pyre, now dance. My voice cracked. First real slip. The old Layla bled through, hurt under the hate. She paused.
Seeing it. Who are you?
This isn't you. Reborn. I thought. Maybe it is. The you who mattered was a lie. Silence stretched. Then she fled, door banging. Footsteps echoing down the stairwell. I cleaned the glass. Cuts stinging like reminders. Too far?
No.
She needed the mirror held up, cracks and all. Jake confronted me days later. Over falafel in his cramped office, TA duties piling high. You're pushing her off a cliff. Layla. What's the endgame? Justice. I met his gaze. Unflinching. She betrayed me, us. Use people like steps on a ladder. Betrayed how? You never say. Because saying meant admitting the death. The alley. The nothing. Trust me. It's deeper than you know. He softened, pulling me close. I do. But revenge? It eats you alive. Not if you spit it out.
I wanted to say.
Instead. Then help me end it clean. He did, fed me dirt on Harlan's network. Connections to Columbia brass. I doled it out selectively. Anonymous letters to deans, Ruiz's apps tainted by association. No names, just implications. May bloomed with dogwoods and despair. Mia's audit loomed. She lawyered up with public aid. Jake's uncle pro bono but probing. This smells fabricated, he told her over speaker. I dropped by for tea. Who'd have access to those records? Her eyes flicked to me. Poison dart. No one.
Lies.
Climax brewed at her would-be graduation, high school redux. But for community college, a sad echo. She invited me. Olive branch or trap. I went. Dress pressed. Jake on arm like a shield. The auditorium hummed with proud families. Air thick with polyester and possibility. Mia crossed the stage. Diploma clutched. Smile brittle. Flashbulbs popped. I clapped polite. Venom veiled. After. In the lobby crush. She hugged me stiff. Thanks for coming. Means. Something. Jake hovered. Tension crackling. Then. Her phone buzzed. IRS final notice. Full investigation pending. Assets frozen. She gasped. Screen shaking.
No.
This can't. Eyes on me. Accusatory blaze.
You.
It was you all along.
Deny? No.
Every penny you skimmed, every favor you fucked for, I gave you the rope.
Mia.
You hanged yourself. The lobby blurred, gasps. Stares. Jake stepped back, shock etching his face. Layla?
Stay out of it, I snapped.
Controversial apex. I'd drag him down to if needed. Or join the pyre. She lunged, not with fists but words. You're a monster. I never. Never what? Loved me? Used me?
Voice rose.
Drawing security. You killed our family for your spotlight. Security swarmed, separating us. Mia hysterical. Me carted out with Jake trailing. Bewildered. Outside. Rain slicked the steps, ironic echo of that alley. Explain, he demanded.
Can't.
Not yet. I walked away, heart-pounding victory drums. But Twist whispered. Auditors called me next. MS. Ruiz? Discrepancies in your filings, too. My forgeries. Bleeding over.
Backfire.
June's heat wave turned the city into a skillet. Asphalt shimmering like mirages of escape as the IRS noose tightened around both necks. Mia's assets. Our shared account. The one I'd funneled diner tips into frozen solid. Rent checks bouncing like bad jokes. Eviction notice taped to the door. 30 days. Poetic. Really, 30 days to dismantle what she'd built on my bones. She moved in with Jake. Temporarily, her story spun as sisterly strife. I didn't fight it, let her nest in my stolen future. Alone in the emptying apartment, I paced, sweat beading, plotting contingencies. The forgeries? Sloppy, timestamps off by hours. Traceable to the library IP I'd used sans full proxy. Amateur hour in pro-revenge. Phone rang, unknown. Layla Ruiz? Agent Torres. IRS. We need to talk. Stomach dropped. About your sister's filings. And yours. Meet tomorrow. Foley Square.
Click.
No choice, run. And I'm the fugitive, fight, and unravel. That night, insomnia gripped like a fever dream. Flashbacks assaulted, original timelines courtroom. Mia teary on stand. She abused me, your honor. Controlled every move. Jury bought it. I lost everything, job. Home.
Will.
The alley fall ruled accidental. But her boyfriend's car idling nearby? Convenient.
Now.
Reborn. I'd mirrored her sins. Karma's boomerang. Swift and curved. Morning. I suited up, thrifted blazer. Hair tamed and cabbed to Federal Plaza. The IRS monolith looming like Judgment Day. Agent Torres, mid-50s. No-nonsense Latina with eyes that dissected lies. MS. Ruiz. Discrepancies abound. Estate funds rerouted. Docs altered. Care to explain? I leaned forward. Palms flat. My sister. She's the architect. I just discovered. Torres arched a brow. Discovered how? Your digital fingerprints are all over the alterations.
Shit.
Revenge, I admitted. Voice steady. Controversial confession. Full truth. Minus the death rebirth bomb. She betrayed me. Used my sacrifices, years waiting tables for her tuition, to climb. Sold secrets. Skimmed cash. I wanted her to feel it. Torres's pen paused. Vigilante accounting?
Bold.
but illegal. Obstruction. Fraud felonies. Charge me. Bluff. Laced with desperation. But investigate her. The profs. The laundries, it's deeper. She studied me. Clock ticking. Off record? I've seen your type. Scorned. Striking back. But this? It'll bury you both. Her first. Venom slipped. Meeting ended with subpoenas, both Ruiz girls summoned. I left. Sun blinding. Resolve cracking. Jake texted. What the hell? Layla? Mia's a wreck.
Talk.
Later. I replied. Lies exhausted. Mia ambushed me that afternoon. Jake's car idling curbside, his face thunder. Her eyes feral. Get in, she hissed through the window. I slid into the back. Trap sprung. Family meeting? You ruined me, she whirled. Spit flying. Frozen accounts. No school, I'm nothing now. Jake drove. Silent. Knuckles white. Because of you, he muttered. Wrong. I locked eyes with him in the rearview. Because of her. Ask about Harlan. Or the estate shells. Mia's gasp. Feigned? Lies. She's framing me. Framing? Like your abuse stories? The ones that got me evicted. Blacklisted. Floodgates opened. I spilled the future past. Edited for sanity. Her graduation gut punch. The restraining order. The alley slip with his, Jake's, car in frame. He swerved, parking erratic on a side street. What alley? Mia? She crumbled. Sobs theatrical. It was an accident. You were spiraling. Layla, drunk. Ranting. I had to protect myself. Protect? You pushed me. Hyperbole. But close, her words the shove. Despair the momentum. Jake's face hardened. Is this true? Partial nod from her. Exaggerated. For space. Exaggerated. He laughed. Hollow. Jesus. Both of you, toxic as hell. He dropped me at the apartment, peeling out with her pleas chasing. Door locked. I collapsed. Victory Pyrrhic. Ashes in mouth. Subpoena day dawned muggy. Courthouse steps mobbed with the damned. Torres waited, flanked by a suit. Plea deal, she offered. Testify against her. Full cooperation. Your charges dropped to misdemeanor. Deal. No hesitation. Betrayal's echo. But mine chosen. Hearing room. Wood paneled. AC humming judgment. Mia entered cuffed. Petty theft charges stacking on fraud. Eyes dull. Fight fled. She saw me. Betrayal raw. You sold me out. Like you sold me. Whisper. As bailiff called order. Torres presented. Transfers. Emails. My discovered ledgers. Mia's lawyer blustered youth. Remorse, but the judge. Stern Yankee. Wasn't buying. Remanded pending trial. Hammer gavel.
Gone.
Outside. Jake waited. Chain smoking. It's over? For her. I touched his arm. Us. He shrugged. Need time.
This.
It's Shakespearean. Tragedy's my genre. Alone again. Reckoning hit. I'd won. But hollow. Nursing finals loomed. I crammed. Hands shaking over notes. Shifted Genos? Tony rehired. Pity in his grunt. Don't screw it. Ruiz. I won't. July 4th fireworks cracked the sky. Echoes of my internal blasts. Mia's trial date set, August. Sweltering. Jake ghosted. Then resurfaced. Coffee? Clean slate. We met at a neutral Starbucks. Irony noted, him tentative, me armored. I dug, he said, sliding a folder. Your story checks, alley cams wiped. But witnesses saw a car like mine. Mia's doing? Probably. Unproven. But gut screamed yes. Forgive? He asked. Not yet. Controversial. I'd use him still. Extract last favors for my assent. As summer peaked, twist uncoiled. Mom's call. Frantic from rehab.
Girls.
Dad's will. Hidden codicil. Money's legit. Mia was protecting it from his bookies.
What?
Heart stuttered. Protecting how? By hiding. She told me everything. You're destroying her for nothing. Lies? Or truth buried deeper. August scorched the courtroom. Fans whirring futile against the humidity of half-truths. Mia's trial. Fraud. Embezzlement. A circus of suits and sobs. I testified. Voice steady under fluorescent glare, every shift logged, every transfer traced. My discoveries painting her as mastermind. Jurors nodded. Faces etched with that American disdain for cheaters. Pull yourself up? Sure. But not on stolen strings. Her lawyer cross-examined. MS. Ruiz. Isn't it possible jealousy fueled this? Your own failures projected. Failures? I leaned into the mic. Eyes on Mia, shrunken in orange. Hair limp. I succeeded. Paid her way while scraping by. She failed morality. Objection sustained. Jury out 2 hours. Guilty on counts 3 through 5, probation, restitution, community service. No jail. But her Ivy dreams cremated. She cornered me post-verdict. In the hall's sterile echo, cuffs off, but chains invisible. Happy now? You won. Wasn't about winning. Life 5. Final. It was everything. Mom's codicil bombshell lingered. Gnawing. I confronted her via collect call from Rikers waiting. Awkward. Glass partitioned. The will. Truth.
She sighed.
Receiver greasy. Dad owed sharks. Mia rerouted to Shields. Fake charities were fronts for payoffs. Protected us. Us. Or her escape fund. Rage simmered. Reborn doubts. Both. She begged me not to tell. You'd never understand. Understand sacrifice? Try me.
Click.
Hung up. Jake's clean slate evolved. Dates tentative. Then tender. He confessed. Dug deeper. Your alley fall? Mia's car. Confirmed. She paid off witnesses. Proof at last. Dashcam stills from a bodega. Blurred but damning. Why tell me now? Because justice isn't just revenge. His hand in mine.
Warm.
Twist crusted that night. Over takeout in his place. Lo mein cooling as Mom's letter arrived. Forwarded from the apartment.
Everett.
Shaky, Layla. Forgive. Mia's secret. She aborted. Young. Harlan's. The money? For you. Post-grad nursing school. She planned to confess. Give it all back. Your sabotage forced her hand, framed you to protect the pot. Bullshit? Or redemption arc denied. I burned it in the sink. Flames dancing like alley shadows. Doesn't change facts, I told Jake. She still pushed. He nodded, pulling me close. Then let go. Or it consumes. September schooled me anew, nursing clinicals. Scrubs starched, Patience pains a bomb to mine. Geno's faded to weekends, tips banked for my own tuition. No sister's shadow. Mia released on parole. Vanished to Jersey barista gig. Therapy mandated. One letter slipped under my door. I'm sorry. For the push. The lies. The love was real. Twisted as it got. Build better. I framed it. Beside her old photo reminder. Not relic. Halloween held wins. Jake proposing under jack-o'-lantern glow. Ring simple. Silver band etched with survivors. I said yes. Controversial heart-thawing. But end? No tidy bow. Rebirth's gift. Second chance. Not erasure. I waited tables still. But for me, nights free for dreams. Days healing hurts not my own. One dawn. Coffee brewing. I glanced in the mirror. Scars faint. Eyes fierce. Mia's betrayal forged this. Villain or victim. She birthed my steel. America's promise. From ashes.
Rise.
Controversial? Damn right. Tense? To the marrow.
Dramatic?
Life's script. Unedited. And me? Layla Ruiz. Waitress, no more. Nurse. Wife-to-be. Avenger archived. The alley? Conquered. The future? Mine to write.